Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today I will be talking about a designer fragrance, a new 2025 flanker to my dad's original signature scent that came out back in '82. So can't wait to talk about this, guys. Kind of means something to me, but also, you know, this is very new. So can't wait to talk about this new flanker with a blue twist. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 26K. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos. Shop from our affiliate links and friends of the channel, guys. It does help us in a big way. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than the latest 2025 flanker to my dad's OG signature scent. This is none other than Laroche Drakkar Bleu. Yes, Laroche Drakkar Bleu. I got this full bottle because it was super cheap, and it feels weird holding this right now because, again, this is what my dad wore for almost 20 years, okay? Now, obviously, this is going to be a blue flanker to Drakkar Noir, which was my dad's signature scent. And when I think about Drakkar Noir, just a quick recap of my scent memory. I mean, my dad was a captain. He flew 747s, you know, for like 20 plus years. And, you know, every morning I would see him like put on his, aftershave, skin bracer, put on his captain's uniform, and then wear his Drakkar Noir. My scent memory of that, definitely green, definitely fresh, aromatic, somewhat fresh and spicy. That's what I got out of it. And it smelled very masculine. It smelled, you know, great for work. You know, something that I think Drakkar Noir, the OG, is really well known for, is that it's a great fragrance for work. Very safe. It's good for the wearer because it's green, fresh, and aromatic, and somewhat fresh, spicy. But it's not like overboard, and it's, you know, generally wearable anytime, anywhere. So that is why my dad relied on it. My dad's a pretty simple man, and that's what he wore for almost 20 years. Now, this one is interesting because the marketing suggests that, you know, they're kind of using the Drakkar brand to really compete with other flankers with similar marketing. You can see that with the latest Cool Water, as well as, you know, even the, you know, Sauvages, where it's kind of like a nighttime aquatic, oceanside type of backdrop every time on the marketing. So maybe this is something more than the usual Drakkar, or that's what I thought, that this might be, you know, having an expanded application versus the common, you know, workman scent for the gentleman, right? So anyways, that is what we are going to find out today. I will break down this scent, guys, no hype. Can't wait to tell you all about it. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest 2025 Laroche Drakkar Bleu. Starting with this phenomenal opening. I love this opening right here. Now, this opening has the notes of spearmint, green apple, and bergamot, guys. Okay, so no special effects here in this opening, but one thing I will say is that the spotlight note, the most predominant note right here in the opening, is going to be spearmint, okay? And the spearmint definitely delivers something crisp and icy and cooling right here in the opening. Something that I really like. It's a nice mood starter to the day. Now, of course, flanking that beautiful spearmint is going to be your citrus. You're going to get some nice, I would say, generic smelling bergamot, nothing crazy about that, as well as a very well embedded green apple. Now, the green apple is not going to be a standout note. It's definitely embedded in this opening, but you can still smell some slight green fruity aspects, also crisp fruity aspects of that green apple here in the opening of Drakkar Bleu. Now, like I said, the spearmint is going to be the star of the show. The mintiness is going to be real nice. And for me, it is a definite mood enhancer, start to the day type of perfume, and also very masculine. But also, it's not going straight into green aromatic territory, which is something that I like, because eventually this fragrance develops into the lavender, but still the spearmint is its own stage. And if you like fragrances like Torino 21, then you probably like spearmint in your fragrances. I like it here in this fragrance, okay? Very crisp, very modern man actually, compared to the more traditional Drakkar Noir that my dad wore. Okay, now let's talk about initial sillage and projection of this fragrance right here. This one definitely had a nice lingering scent around me, okay? And I got to put in at least 6 to 7 sprays of this one. I don't trust designers, so I kind of oversprayed a little bit more, but that gave me really the optimum sillage and projection when I wore this at work, okay? So it's got a nice sillage and projection. I would say the strongest part would be the first couple hours of wearing Drakkar Bleu. Now, because of that, I also got a lot of compliments, okay? Because like I said, this one definitely has a cooling, mood awakening aspect to it. And of course, you have the underlying fruity, like that green apple and, citrusy aspects as well. So you got that blue side of it that, a lot of people love. So I got a lot of compliments wearing this easily at work. It's also a safe bet. So that's what I got. It does have a high compliment factor as well. Okay, so now let's talk about the mid right here of Laroche Drakkar Bleu. Now, one of the predominant notes right here in the mid is going to be lavender, guys, okay? And lavender is pretty much in every gentlemanly scent out there, in almost every reliable fragrance out there for men because of its nature. It's uplifting, it's aromatic, and somewhat spicy, all right? It's great to the nose, and when you mix this with the intro notes as it blends in with the intro, you are going to get the blue identity of this fragrance right here. You have the citrus, aromatic, and then you have the cooling spearmint and a little bit of apple right there. So this does start early into this fragrance, one of the most dominant notes here in the mid. Now, also here in the mid, you're going to get violet leaf, which is not to be confused with violet. Violet leaf has a fresh cucumber-like smell that continues the green freshness of this fragrance into the mid. And finally, you have sage, which does provide an herbaceous body into this mid as it heads into the dry down. But most definitely, it's going to be fresh cucumber-like violet leaf and lavender as the first transitions into this mid, and then of course the sage as we head into the dry down. Can't complain. It's a beautiful mix, like I said, very safe, very gen scent like, and of course compliment getting. Okay, and finally, let's look into the dry down of this fragrance right here, Drakkar Bleu. And on this dry down, you are gonna get the notes of balsam fir, patchouli, as well as oak moss. All right, and if you know your notes, this is gonna be a nice green, spicy and natural smelling ending to this fragrance. Very green. This is more of like the actual OG Drakkar, which gives you a green, spicy, and earthy, woody type of ending. Okay, the patchouli does give you the earthiness and the woodiness, and of course, oak moss paired with the fir does give you a natural green smelling ending, kind of spicy as well towards the end. Okay, so it's a nice ending. It's not a sunset type of ending, which makes this fragrance kind of consistently green and fresh and even woody towards its lifetime. Okay, so that is the dry down of this fragrance right here. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, Drakkar Bleu? I like it. Okay, there are no special effects on this fragrance, nothing too groundbreaking about this fragrance, but I bought this full bottle super cheap because of its reliability. Okay, and that is one thing I will say. Very reliable at work, and if you go to work or in any type of occasion and you want to smell fresh and crisp and new, and that's something that, especially I work in the hospital, I mean, that's not necessarily the same as wearing a suit to work. I mean, freshies like this that have that minty, that spearmint type of opening, it does matter to me, okay, to smell icy, minty, fresh in the beginning parts of work, okay, mood-wise and how I come across. And definitely this fragrance does it. So I like the opening. It serves my purpose every time, I go out to work, okay, very reliable. Now, one thing I will say, all right, is that on my scent memory of Drakkar Noir, it did smell more of like a middle-aged man type of smell. All right, that is definitely something I remember because, of course, at that time, my dad was a middle-aged man, wearing this as a captain. Now, this one, I will say, is more applicable to the younger crowd. probably because of the blue nature, the spearmint in the beginning being more prominent, the fresher nature, more ozonic. This is maybe something that the younger men, younger executives, younger pilots, the new blood coming into the workspace would probably wear. Okay, and of course that doesn't exclude the middle-aged men. You can still wear this as well, but this one will make you smell, I would say, more youthful or youthful in spirit, because definitely this one has a more youthful aspect to it that I believe maybe mid-20s will appreciate this flanker of Drakkar Noir, the Drakkar Bleu. Also, another aspect to this fragrance, to the usage that's maybe not applicable to the OG Drakkar Noir, is that I feel this, because it's youthful smelling, can also be worn in nighttime casual occasions, okay, which is something that I don't think the original can do. I really can see the original as more of like a gent scent, daytime, work time type of scent. This one here, because of the blue aspects, can be worn at work. It's competitive with the other blue fragrances out there. And the fact that this blue aspect goes into something green, spicy, and woody with patchouli and sage towards the mid and end, that makes this an applicable nighttime grabber for, you know, fragrance users out there. So it's not just going to be like a work scent or a youthful work scent, but it can also be a nighttime applicable fragrance. Definitely competes with the Bleu de Chanel's out there, the Cool Waters. There's a lot out there, but I can see how they made this to compete with those other fragrances. Okay, now here's the thing. Let's talk about total performance on Drakkar Bleu. Okay, so like I said, I wore this several sprays, gave me a nice sillage that was most powerful for the first 2 hours of this fragrance. Didn't really go away after 2 hours, of course not. Matter of fact, I got to wear this fragrance and I got to smell this all the way up to the 12-hour mark. But the most prominent parts of this fragrance can be smelled for 10 hours, maybe 9 to 10 hours actually. So it doesn't last super long. I could still smell it though up to the 12th hour. There's still that green spiciness that I got to smell. But in terms of like actual lingering scent, I would say is about 9 to 10 hours on this one. Again, not bad. You can reapply or spray even more if you'd like. But to me, it was okay, because to me, this fragrance is more of a forward-leaning scent. Most of the most powerful, prominent, and likable aspects of this fragrance is going to be at the front, at the forefront of the fragrance, in the opening to the mid. Okay, and finally, let's look at the cost of this fragrance right here, Drakkar Bleu, and is it worth a full bottle? Now, one thing I will say, you see me having a full bottle right here, that's primarily because, you know, I didn't mind about the price. It was $30-something on Amazon, and I'm sure we're gonna sell it right here on the affiliates for about the same price. It wasn't gonna make a dent to my wallet whatsoever, and I really didn't mind having another like fresh workman scent that I could wear to the hospital. Okay, no big deal. So that is why I bought this full bottle. Now, will this work for you? I would say that, you know, blind buy worthy, that's okay. I don't think it's gonna hurt you to buy this bottle as an addition if you're looking at it the way that I do. But one thing that might surprise you is, again, the extended applications of this fragrance being more youthful in nature, as well as something that you can wear pretty much where you would wear Bleu de Chanel or other blue fragrances at night. So that might be the added bonus to your pretty safe blind buy of this fragrance right here, Drakkar Bleu. Now, if you have a lot of designer scents though, I gotta say you might want to try and test this fragrance. And I don't know if you can still get, you know, a sample of this. That might be like $5 or even less. But, you know, like I said, it doesn't hurt to add this to your collection. It didn't hurt to add it to mine. And I do own a lot of very expensive niche fragrances full bottle. But let me tell y'all that I'm okay wearing this. I'm okay owning this. $30, no big deal. It's another addition to my work scents. And that is it. That is my no hype review on the latest Drakkar flanker for 2025, Drakkar Bleu. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. Did you like it, or does it smell redundant to your other fragrances, other designer fragrances, or other gent scents? Let me know on the comments below. There are no right or wrong answers. As long as you are respectful to others and myself, I will allow the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you would like me to do more designer scents like Drakkar Noir, please comment below and I'll definitely look into it. I think there's that new YSL Myself Absolute. If you would like me to review that, cool, I will. Just comment below for any requests on the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless, take care, peace.